streaming on CrossroadsToday.com hours after Seadrift's mayor resigns, a new complaint surfaces about city assets. The allegations involving an alderman and police dog.
Hurricane Katrina's 20th anniversary brings memories of local heroes. The Victoria man who opened his heart and kitchen.
Plus, new information about the Minnesota church shooter's past comes to light, what police knew before the attack.
Temperatures have been very hot today, and well, we got a chance for some rain and some cooler temperatures on the way. We'll be talking about that coming up.
And Texas A&M Victoria opens season at home versus Oklahoma City tomorrow afternoon. We'll hear from one of the men's soccer players later on. Sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 10. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shauna Curry.
And I'm Don Brubaker.
It has been nearly 3 decades with no closure to a Calhoun County homicide case. In 1996, 50-year-old Kenneth Ray Tenberg was found dead in his pickup truck. At first, investigators thought it was just a crash, but they later discovered the wreck was staged and Tenberg had been murdered. He was last seen alive at Pure Country Bar the night before. If you know anything, contact Calhoun County Crime Stoppers. All tips are anonymous. Just hours after the resignation of Mayor Lori Thompson, a Seadrift resident files a formal complaint claiming improper use of city assets. The complaint specifically mentions Alderman Paul Gonzalez and his handling of a canine unit named Roscoe. Gonzalez said during a city council meeting in 2024 that Officer Roscoe would be medically retired because of joint issues. But in the July 9th meeting minutes, Gonzalez says, quote, a forever home has been found for him so that he can enjoy the rest of his life being a couch potato. A little over 2 months later, the city of Rockport posted a resolution accepting Officer Roscoe as an official Rockport Canine unit, despite the earlier reports from Seadrift of Roscoe's medical retirement. We have reached out to both Seadrift and Rockport for statements, and we are waiting to hear back. Well, it's a powerful lineup of events today, marking 20 years since communities across Southeast Louisiana changed forever. That includes a Katrina 20 March and Second Line, starting at the very spot of the levee breach in the lower 9th Ward, which ripped apart so many lives, homes, and senses of security. Crowds of people marched, then second lined from that heavy spot, reflecting on the lives lost and the courage found during Hurricane Katrina. This is something that is done every year, but the organizer said it felt different on this 20-year milestone. A celebration followed the event at a nearby park. And 20 years later, a Victoria restaurant owner reflects how he was able to feed and show love to those escaping the devastation caused by Hurricane Katrina. Ricky Mumford, co-owner of Mumford's Barbecue, fed a total of 150 people who fled the New Orleans area and wound up in Victoria for 2.5 months. For his efforts, officials from the city of New Orleans and state of Louisiana presented proclamations of thanks. Mumford says the real reward was helping people that really needed it.
You know, that they lost everything. That was one of the main, that's what, it really hurt you to hear. But we bought them. I bought them here for a Christmas, bought a few here for a Christmas party. I took some on a catering and put some money in their pocket. We did some of them came to our church. They visited us at church there. And one guy came back and made some gumbo for us. And it was good.
Mumford says the opportunity to help people in a time of need is the greatest reward and says he would gladly do it again if need be. Well, time to check now on our weather as we head into the weekend.
It was still hot by kickoff time tonight, Jacob. Do we get some relief maybe sometime Sunday or earlier than that?
Don, we actually have a front moving through, but before we talk about that front, you want to know how hot it was today? 100 degrees. We hit 100 for today here once again here in the Crossroads. We didn't get any rain though, but there was some rain in the area making its way down 59 corridor right around the Wharton area. Ended up fizzling out right around Edna, as well as a couple little showers that popped up around Goliad. Nothing a little less than about ½ an inch. Right around the Wharton area, close to about an inch there up north, but the rain chances are going to be increasing here as we have a frontal system that's going to be helping cool our temperatures down just a little bit, but also bring shower activity over the weekend. But I'll be talking about the timing of the frontal system as well as maybe how much rain we're going to be seeing when we come up in the full weather report. Dawn, Shauna?
New details tonight in that deadly mass shooting inside a Minneapolis church. 2 young children killed, more than a dozen others hurt. ABC News obtaining 2 search warrants, including one tied to the home of the suspect's father.
Also tonight, we're seeing dramatic video from inside the sanctuary that shows that frantic moments just after the gunman opened fire at Annunciation Church. ABC's Melissa Adon has more.
A parent capturing this dramatic video following the moments just after the shooter fired through the stained glass windows during morning mass at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis.
Where's the shooter? Where's the shooter?
You can see students and parishioners running for cover, diving into the pews. One person even heard asking, "Where's the shooter?" 2 young children killed while praying in the sanctuary. 10-year-old Harper Moisky and 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel. 18 others were injured, including 15 children. The Minneapolis community remembering the students.
Please remember Fletcher for the person he was and not the act that ended his life.
Investigators looking into why the 23-year-old suspect targeted students inside the church. Officials say the first 911 call came in at 8:27 a.m. Officers arriving just 4 minutes later. A search warrant obtained by ABC News reveals the killer's father told police his child recently broke up with their significant other and was living with a friend at the time of the attack. Police confirmed they have been in contact with the killer's mother, but it's unclear if she is cooperating.
There has been conversation, and I am not at liberty to go any further than that.
One of the survivors, 13-year-old Andre Gunter, shot in the stomach and hospitalized. His aunt writing online, stating he has showed strength and faith beyond his years. Officials say one child has been released from the hospital. 5 others are still recovering. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
New records show police had visited Robin Westman's home years before the church shooting. Officers were called at least twice, once for a mental health check and another time for a reported criminal offense. Details are sparse, but it shows authorities had prior contact with her. Investigators are still trying to understand what drove Westman to carry out the attack that killed 2 children and injured 17 others.
ExxonMobil is bringing hundreds of new jobs to Texas. The company announced plans for a major reconfiguration to its Baytown campus. The project is expected to create around 700 contracted positions. ExxonMobil is changing the Baytown refinery so it will increase production of diesel and base stocks as the company looks to diversify its production offerings. The company cited a decline in gasoline demand as part of the reason for shifting their production processes. Gas has not been this cheap on Labor Day since 2020. Labor Day gas prices are expected to average $3.15 per gallon this year. That's the cheapest since 2020 during the pandemic. Gas Buddy reports that's down from $3.29 last Labor Day. U.S. oil fell below $64 a barrel Thursday, down over $13 a barrel since President Biden's final full day in office. AAA Texas reports the average gas price in Victoria is $2.63 per gallon. That's down 21 cents in 1 year. Turbulence during United Express flight results in 2 passengers being sent to the hospital with minor injuries. The plane, operated by SkyWest, was heading from Aspen, Colorado to Houston when things got bumpy in the sky. Flight Radar 24 reports the plane dipped roughly 4,000 feet within 60 seconds. A passenger recorded this video from inside the flight. The plane fell more than 25,000 feet over the next 6 minutes. SkyWest said the plane eventually landed safely at Austin Bergstrom International Airport.
Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy once again. The company filed for Chapter 11 protection today. It's the second time this year Spirit has filed for bankruptcy. The carrier has been losing money since its failed JetBlue merger. Spirit executives say rising losses, tariffs, reduced demand, and weak fares have added pressure. The airline says passengers will not see service or ticketing interruptions during the bankruptcy process. The Texas A&M University System Regents approved next year's $8.1 billion budget and locked in a 2-year freeze on what Texas undergrads pay for academics. That means tuition and fees will not go up through the 2026-27 school year. That's across the entire Texas A&M University system. Board Chairman Robert Albritton says while costs like groceries and gas are rising, college costs for Texas students will not. The move makes Texas A&M stand out nationally, where many universities are raising rates. Chancellor Glenn Hagar says the freeze gives families certainty while still protecting classroom quality and research across the state. Well, here in Texas, a homecoming tradition that we're all very well aware of is becoming too costly for some high school students. Mums are oversized their homemade corsages exchanged during the homecoming season.
Yeah, but as Patty Santos reports, the increasing cost of materials is making it difficult for students to make the grand creations.
This one right here was for $225. This right here was $135 because of the motorizing. This right here, it could vary. It could be anywhere from $235 to $285. It just depends. Yes, because of how much time and how much creativity you put into it goes on to that.
For years, Monica Saldana, owner of Lucy's Hands, has been creating custom-made memories for high school kids looking for specialty mums.
How much would you say, if you had to put a percentage, have the prices gone up for you guys and across everybody that's making these because of the supplies?
Anywhere between 10 to 15% that I've seen the prices go up. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, throughout the years, they've changed.
She works year-round to find deals on ribbon, trinkets, and other supplies to make these homecoming favorites worth it for families and her business.
I've seen a ribbon go up from when it used to be like $3.95, they've gone up to like $8.95, like a big hike in different prices over the years. Also on the trinkets, they used to be like 30 cents, 40 cents. Now they're $1, $2, $3. And people are always like, man, why so expensive? If they knew what it took to make the mum, you would understand why we have to charge that much. I got creative and I got it to fly.
This year, she hopes her customers will see the worth of her latest creation, musical motorized mums. We watched her work her magic on a mum for KSAT Mike.
You can make a simple mum look as beautiful as you can with the ribbon you get, the bling that you put on there, and all the trinkets you can add to it.
Yorktown Memorial Hospital still accessible despite being declared unsafe by city officials. To read this article, visit crossroadstoday.com.
And remember, your news, weather, and sports are streaming 24/7 on crossroadstoday.com. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10, federal agents arrest 2 firefighters at an active fire scene. The controversial ICE operation sparking outrage.
Also ahead, 2 rival high schools unite to honor Kerrville's flood heroes. The heartwarming pre-game ceremony tonight.
Here's a look at what you can expect on Community Crossroads. We hear from the Victoria ISD. We learn about a benefit for victims of domestic violence, an exhibit at the Museum of the Coastal Bend, and we hear from Keep Victoria Beautiful.
It's called the Waste Wizard online tool, and it is specific for Victoria. So you can, put in there what you want to get rid of, and it will pop up what to do with it.
With warmer coastal waters, more and more waterways in the U.S. are seeing a rise of flesh-eating bacteria.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta spoke to one survivor who says she's lucky to be alive.
I thought she was going to be a goner.
Stephanie and Lacey.
two sisters, taking a walk they thought might never happen. It was just last year that Lacey almost died from a flesh-eating bacterial infection.
You wouldn't believe the pain. It's just, I wouldn't wish it on no one. And the whole time I thought I had the flu.
It started with pain that seemed to come out of nowhere. Then came difficulty walking. A few days later, Lacey's daughter rushed her to the emergency room in her small town of Brookhaven, Mississippi, where she was diagnosed with an infection caused by the deadly flesh-eating bacteria known as Vibrio vulnificus. She was so sick that she was immediately airlifted to a trauma hospital in Jackson for emergency surgery.
I had a surgery just about every day to every other day that I was in the hospital.
I was just in shock. They told me it cut all her thigh out, part of her behind.
I went from being a healthy person to I have to have a cane or a walker. And I'm thankful to be here, though. Very grateful.
Take a look. This is the bacteria. It loves warm, salt, and brackish waters. Sometimes people get sick through contaminated seafood. Other times, it is open wounds. Thankfully, the more serious type of infections are rare, maybe a couple hundred reported in the United States every year. But out of those, 1 in 5 may die, and fast.
From the time of the bacteria gaining access to the GI tract or through a wound and to where it gets into the bloodstream and can cause illness. So it can be a matter of hours or a few days.
States up and down the eastern seaboard have been concerned with the rise in cases due to warmer water. And lately, Atlantic Ocean temperatures have been off the charts.
The warmer, the better. It incubates really well, with the heat. So it doesn't get too hot for it.
Like many people, Lacey doesn't know when or where she actually contracted the bacteria. But she does know this. That little pathogen changed her life forever.
It was a nightmare. It was just a nightmare. I don't wish it on nobody.
A federal appeals court rules President Donald Trump unlawfully used emergency powers to impose sweeping tariffs. The court upheld a lower court ruling today against the tariffs, saying Congress did not give the president wide-ranging authority under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The tariffs will stay in place for now as the court delayed its order until October, giving the administration time to appeal to the Supreme Court. The full federal court heard the case. 7 judges ruled against Trump, 4 dissented.
Attorneys for Kilmar Abrego Garcia want a federal judge to issue a gag order against Trump administration officials in his human smuggling case. They say negative comments could threaten his right to a fair trial. Abrego Garcia was wrongfully deported earlier this year and has been in and out of federal custody. His lawyers point to recent statements from Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and posts from the Department of Homeland Security. Trial is set for January. Border Patrol agents arrest 2 firefighters in Washington state while at the site of the Bear Gulch fire. The incident stemmed from a Bureau of Land Management criminal investigation.
Border Patrol said it had to verify the identities of people at the site after BLM ended work contracts with their employers. Bridget Chavez has the details.
Yeah, we got pulled by ICE.
This video shows Customs and Border Patrol agents moving in on crews working the Bear Gulch fire in the Olympic Peninsula.
Crazy, dude.
King 5 spoke with one of the firefighters who was there. He wants to remain anonymous, but spoke with us over the phone.
We went some place that I've never seen, and it was kind of weird because it's just one way, It's one way in, it's one way out.
The firefighter says he and his teammates were stunned to see federal agents.
We got members from the tribe of Umatilla, Cayuse, and Walla Walla. This is crazy, man. Look at that. Posted up.
Even more shocked when they lined them up and started taking pictures of their IDs.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you guys get a chance, exercise your tribal rights.
On me, I had my ID, but I was still thinking, man, is this enough proof?
We have a different crew over here.
He says the 2 men who were arrested are respected crew members.
They're discussing about fraud hours.
CBP confirmed the 2 men are being held at a facility in Bellingham. The agency says the 2 are in the country illegally, and one of them has a previous order of removal.
Oh yeah, they're good guys. He's been doing this for a long time. He has a lot of experience. Everyone loves him. That kid is just he just goes, and he's I have a lot of respect for him.
Governor Bob Ferguson says he's deeply concerned and his team is pressing federal agencies for answers. And Senator Patty Murray also criticized the move, calling it immoral and dangerous.
It's just weird, it's scary. I just want to tell people, be safe, man. Like these people are just doing too much.
The Bear Gulch fire has burned nearly 9,000 acres since it ignited in July. As of Thursday, it was only 13% contained. First responders were honored before a Texas high school football game tonight. After answering calls for help during the July 4th Hill Country floods, the Kerrville School District wanted to give back. Teams from Tybee and Del Rio high schools wore custom jerseys with first responders above the numbers and Kerrville strong patches on the sleeves. Representatives from several emergency agencies also served as honorary captains for the coin toss.
Well, we're going to be talking about a change in our weather pattern coming up after the break. Well, good evening, Crossroads. We had that high pressure still sitting over us here. It's going to be kind of lingering here. It's for the morning time. It'll figure itself out and shrink out and move towards the west. But that's why temperatures were so hot today. We didn't really get much shower activity popping up other than the Wharton County area where we managed to get a couple little showers to pull up over there. But the high pressure will be moving out of here, as well as starting to watch a little dip in our jet stream here. Some for the fall here as we await a frontal system to push down here by around Sunday evening into Sunday night into Monday morning. That'll kind of help drop our temperatures just a little bit there. We're going to be seeing up into the high 80s, which is a big difference than what we've normally been seeing, especially since we just got to 100 degrees today. But that's just not it. We're going to be continuing to see some northerly winds here, and that jet stream is going to continue to dip down there as we await another frontal system for later next week. In 7 days, we'll see another frontal system make its way down here that could also drop our temperatures. And look at this, Thursday, Chicago in the morning, it's going to be 49 for their low. I mean, if we're getting into the fall weather. I mean, that's fall-like for sure, especially up there in Chicago. But fortunately, we're not going to see that probably until, let's just say, winter here for the Texas months. So heat index, though, because we got high pressure still lingering, it's going to be 110 is what it's going to feel like for tomorrow. 106 once we start getting that frontal system moving in. Look at that, we're below triple digits here. Now it's starting to feel like fall because once we get that heat index below triple digits and get more of a northerly breeze, it's going to be a little bit different here for us. So definitely a steep degrade right there. But we also are getting those rain chances to increase with that frontal system. So a lot of cloud cover here in the morning. That'll be burning off in the afternoon time. Give it about a 20% chance for some rain in the afternoon, evening time. And well, a couple little showers there remaining for the evening time as well. But when we get that frontal system to push down here by the afternoon, evening time, look at that. By 4 p.m., we'll start to see a line of showers and thunderstorms beginning to pick up for us here, just crossing the I-10 corridor. So best chance for some rain is going to be Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night into Monday morning for us when the front makes its way through here. And, well, Sunday, marginal risk for excessive rainfall, which is about a 5% chance within a 25-mile radius. Could see some possible minor flooding, especially in low-lying areas. But slight risk up north, parts of Gonzales and northern parts of I-10 are going to be involved in that, as well as parts of the Hill Country and northern parts of Bexar County. But here's what the European model shows out for the future tracker. By 8 p.m., get more of that shower activity there for Sunday, and well, Monday kind of lingers around here just a little bit as it slowly makes its way down south. But by Monday afternoon, starting to see some clearing up north, and that'll push down farther right along the RGV area, and that's going to keep a lot of shower activity down there as well for Tuesday. And that's going to be it for the rain. We're not really expecting too much rain here over the course of next week, especially when that frontal system comes down. It's going to be more of a dry front, unfortunately. But look at this, the next 6 to 10 days out, below normal for the temperatures, something that we can also look forward to for next week as well as we go through these next couple of hot days. But Victoria Daily Planner, mostly cloudy skies tomorrow. Temperature is going to be really hot. Make sure we stay hydrated and cooling down, especially if you have any outdoor activities. Port Lavaca seeing those same conditions as well. So it's getting a little bit hotter. Maybe see triple digits out there, as well as maybe here as well in Victoria. But Sunday, 40% chance. Going to be seeing a 50% chance of rain here for Labor Day in the morning time. And drop down to 20% here for Tuesday. And temperatures, look at that, kind of ease down here, just right around average to below average for this time of the year, which is very fortunate for us. Now, don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And, well, Max, it's that time of the year again. It's almost like Christmas, right?
Yes, it is, Jacob, because we got, again, week 1 action here in a matter of 10 minutes here for our first CFL live show. And, again, we're going to actually review their 2 final scores for tonight's games going into just a couple of minutes here in sports. All right, everyone, just a matter of moments. We're going to highlight our Crossroads Football Live show coming up here. But before we get to that, though, we're going to head back, talk about A&M Victoria, where tomorrow afternoon they have their home opener versus Oklahoma City, where I highlighted on Wednesday, the last time, UHV will have those names on their jerseys. But in some of my conversations with the A&M Victoria goalkeeper, Tyler Capelli, he highlights what the team needs to do to get the victory tomorrow night.
As a goalkeeper, that's always what you're shooting for. But I think the biggest thing for me is to have a good performance. I think having a good performance to start off the season is absolutely crucial. We got big games coming up in conference, so we just have to be ready from the get-go. So what I'm looking forward to most is us being locked in, us being focused, and us playing as a team.
Now, Capelli, and again, the men's team is going to start there at 3:30 p.m. there tomorrow afternoon, while the women's team, they're going to start beforehand at 1 p.m. there at the Cage. Now, finally, over to some high school volleyball real quick. We had multiple tournaments. First was St. Joseph Lady Flyers team. They improved to 18-6 overall in the Goliad tournament there. Jordan Johnson had 22, and Bailey Montgomery had 17 there out there for the Flyers. And Victoria East went there in pool play out in the Needville tournament. So Stars and Jade McIntosh had 8 assists and 5 there, with Ellie Shannon having 6 and then 2 digs as well in the game. So both teams start off bracket play there tomorrow afternoon. Now, before we highlight 2 big scores I'm going to look at, we have a viewer poll that we asked you all earlier. What was your favorite part of high school football? Is the excitement of the game, Friday night traditions, and community atmosphere, or supporting local players and teams? And a lot of people thought it was kind of that Friday night tradition, community atmosphere. It looks like it stayed the same. About 69% of you chose that. About 20% said this local players and teams, and the excitement of the game. Now, with our first live show just starting up here in 10 minutes, we wanted to reveal you guys with 2 final scores here from tonight's action ahead of our show. It's going to start up here. And a reminder, these scores I will be revealing will not be announced there on the live show that's going to start here in a matter of moments. So Without further ado, let's get to the first live score out there in Matagorda County, where we got the Bay City Blackcats there turning the page. And actually, we do not have an update here with this score update there with the Bay City Blackcats and Sweeney Bulldogs. And Luis, and okay, 48-45 actually in this one we looked at it there. 48-14 was the one out there when we looked at there for Luis over there over Flatonia. That game was under there with Cameron Murrah, and that game turned out to be a very interesting game there for Luis as they turned over the page. And that's going to do it here in sports. Don, Shauna, back to you.
Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 10. We'll take a last look at your weather. Plus, a Tallahassee birthday party ends with police and arresting the main attraction. Why Chuck E. Cheese is in handcuffs. No. So.
Not your usual baby shower in central Ohio. This was at the Columbus Zoo for mommy Sandara, an Asian elephant. The calf, who has not been named yet, was right by her side for the festivities. The calf was born in July, weighing 215 pounds. Whew. Now tips the scales at 300 pounds. Also in attendance at today's baby shower, Sandara's sister, Rudy. Congratulations, Mama.
You won't believe this until you see it, but you're watching it now. Chuck E. Cheese was arrested. Well, an employee portraying the pizza-loving mouse, at least. 41-year-old Jermel Jones was working back in July when he was confronted by Tallahassee police. In the video, you can hear Officer Jarrett Cruz commanding the character to, quote, "Come with me, Chucky," unquote. Jones is accused of using a stolen credit card after victim Michelle Allen visited the pizza chain for a birthday and noticed fraudulent charges on her card soon after. The victim's credit card was found in Jones's pocket with the receipt from the same shop one of the fraudulent purchases was made. Let's take a quick look at the update before Chuck E. Cheese is released. Okay?
Yes. Well, we have a couple little showers that are going to be popping up this weekend. We have a frontal system moving in here Sunday. 40 to 50% chance of rain for Sunday and Monday. And look at that, another frontal system here Thursday night into Friday morning. That could drop our temperatures even more than what we're seeing here for Labor Day, 87 degrees.
Brr.
It's on the horizon. Well, check this out. During a police chase in Michigan, police used a grappler to stop a stolen car, and it was all caught on tape. After the police car taps the rear bumper of the car, that grappler is latched on. The grappler is a device that deploys a high-strength net around the car's rear axle, tethering it to the police vehicle. So when the police car stops, the stolen vehicle will also stop. But as you can see, the driver tried to escape, and after multiple times, the rear axle was literally ripped completely from the car.
Ooh, my.
The driver and 2 passengers were then taken into custody. I think they even tried to get away after the axle was ripped off. They still tried to see if they could somehow drive away.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen one of those before, though. They just bump the bumper and they're attached.
That's crazy.
That's dangerous. That is dangerous. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. Stay tuned. Crossroads Football Live is next. All the latest on the greatest Texas high school football. Have a great Labor Day weekend, everybody.